journey begins in 1966 when Dick Lovett began to trade, dealing in specialist vehicles such as Porsche, Ferrari and Lamborghini.
Fairwater House is in the heart of Wroughton village. With 3 staff, my father buying and selling, my mother collecting and delivering cars, and Ron Furman. Dad bought some superb cars. I still have the original stock book. It's a real treasure.
Dad and I went to the motor show and we signed up as Ferrari dealers. Porsche heard that we'd taken on Ferrari, so they came to us offering their franchise as well. We then took the Reliant Senator franchise, good car and a favourite of Princess Anne.
Father had a passion for Lanciers. We were able to take on that franchise. My racing campaign began. I drove a Porsche 3-litre RS in my first race at Wroughton. I'd taken the car out of the showroom without my father's permission. Bought a garage in Granwell Road in Swindon to start our Mercedes-Benz business. In 1977, Porsche launched the 924, and we proudly held our launch at Fairwater House.
It's Pete Lovett who takes the lead from Brian Muir. Pete Lovett now taking the lead by...
Found the combination of my motor racing and running the expanding business a very exhilarating experience. And it led to me taking over the business from my father and acquiring Fairwater House from him.
We were looking for our 3rd dealership at this time. I wanted to have a single franchise at a single site. I bought Bridge Garage in Marlborough. The Porsche Solus Centre opened in Marlborough. We now had 3 separate franchises, Porsche in Marlborough, BMW in Wroughton and Mercedes-Benz in Granwell Road in Swindon.
In 1982, my father finally decided to retire from the business. He was 67.
Purchased 2 new sites in West Swindon to build 2 identical buildings, one for Mercedes-Benz and the other for BMW. The new buildings were clean cut and very unusual for the time. 1984 saw the grand opening of the new Mercedes-Benz and BMW dealerships in West Swindon. I purchased another 3-acre site adjacent to BMW with plans for a new Porsche centre. I'd now raced for 10 years and enjoyed lots of success.
My motor racing era was sort of peaking when the development of the business needed to surge on. Do I stay racing for another year or 2, or do I concentrate on the business?
The 1980s were a boom time, and we continued to grow and recruit more staff.
The building we're in today was, in 1986, the new Porsche dealership, and we transferred from Marlborough, and I came across as sales manager.
Our journey now takes us along the M4 west to Bristol.
I bought the BMW business, formerly known as Western Counties.
We were back in touch with Ferrari and were happy to take the franchise on again. We put Ferrari with Porsche in Swindon.
The last franchise I set up was in 1990, the Mazda franchise.
Then came the late 80s and early 90s, and almost overnight really the luxury car market just fell away completely as recession hit us.
We took the Subaru Isuzu franchise and put it into one of our Swindon premises.
At one point, to try and cope with the difficult times, that all the franchises of Subaru, Isuzu, Mercedes and Porsche were all operating out of the same business.
With Mercedes now in with Porsche, left an empty building which Peter took the franchise on from Nissan and put those there.
I think overall the company probably came out of the recession stronger, having more robust business practices.
I'm always looking ahead, and for the last 10 years I've been searching for a new site near Bristol. I found and bought a 4-acre site at Cribbs Causeway. In December 97, Laurel Court at Cribbs Causeway was opened for business as a BMW dealership.
The Dick Lovett Group tried retailing Ducati motorbikes. Although the Bodyshop had nothing to do with crash repairs, we did do a number of colour changes, giving them a one-off look.
I bought the old timber yard on the Wootton Bassett Road.
In January 1999 we opened BMW Swindon, this time at Rushy Park, and that was a real pleasurable experience.
99 was a year for consolidation. There were changes to be made, and whilst I'd still be coming to the office daily, I passed my role as managing director into the capable hands of Lynn Campbell.
Mini Swindon was my first big job. That's when Mini first joined BMW.
We now move east on the M4 to Hungerford in Berkshire.
Well, we bought Hungerford Garage in April 2001, at which point I was running the dealership in Swindon.
Now that Lovett Sporting has finished, we decided to rebuild the site in Porsche's new corporate style. Mercedes-Benz decided to overhaul their dealer network, and we were chosen to be one of their future partners.
Sadly, in 2002, after a lot of heartache on Peter's part, he decided he had to relinquish the franchise.
Very difficult decision.
We bought the Ferrari business in Northleach, which was known as MHT, bought the sales business and its freehold showroom. Our journey now proceeds west along the M4, across the Severn Bridge to Cardiff. We called in our architects, started to draw up plans for a new Ferrari, Maserati and Porsche dealership. We began building a fabulous new Ferrari, Maserati and Porsche dealership at Link Park in Cardiff. Back in Bristol, we'd just bought a site next door to Laurel Court for a new Porsche dealership. Ferrari, Maserati and Porsche dealership at Cardiff was opened in December. One of my favourite designs. Dick Lovett benefits from being one of the largest BMW retailers, giving our corporate team the ability to supply vehicles from any one of our dealerships. The new Porsche Centre in Bristol was opened. Matthew Beard is possibly the youngest Porsche dealer principal in the world. BMW Hungerford was badly in need of modernising. Lotus was now well established in Swindon alongside Ferrari and Maserati. We made the decision to sell Chrysler Jeep in Swindon. Our connections with BMW span the past 38 years and Porsche 29 years. These are the two great franchises that form the cornerstones for our future growth. Dreams. I'm very proud that my father entrusted me to take the business forward.
I guess one day the plan is for me to take over the group, and whether that's tomorrow or probably 20 years' time, the way my dad's currently going, I think I'll be ready to take on the challenge.
I'd like to say a great big thank you to every one of these people for making the journey so far so successful. The journey continues.